Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news. Did Ethereum receive the most intergalactic bullish signal of all from Jim Cramer? How much Bitcoin does Michael Chad Saylor now own? What's happening with PulseChain? All of that coming and more, baby dolls. We see a 120,000 American dollar BTC. I've given it the green emoji just because we're feeling just a bit green and breaking the rules just a bit. You know what I mean? Should be a blue emoji because it pretty much stalled out. But BTC, friends, charging on through. Remember, this is the monthly chart. The monthly chart's great because it is in price discovery mode. I want to remind you of something, okay? Because I've just noticed. Do you see these yellow dotted line, friends? This is the 4-year moving average. It's basically the 200 week, okay? So it's the 4-year moving average or whatever. Now, in each cycle, the Bitcoin top will accelerate a large distance above the 200 week number, all right? So I've actually written how much it would accelerate in other charts here, but this number was about 20x. This number was about 10x, okay? This number was about 5. See, it's about 400% 5. So if you notice, right, how far Bitcoin can accelerate above its 4-year moving average price, that is being diminishing over time. Obviously, okay? So it's obvious to us, but if you're a Bitcoin maxi, they don't like talking about that because it means that like their thing is slowing down and they're trying to onboard their family and friends, telling them to buy BTC because they think it's going to do like another 100x. Now, how much have we done from today? We have actually done about a 2.4x. But if you keep dropping that number in half from 20, 10, 5, 2.5 now, a 2.5 would bring you around 130K. Now, I remember years ago, I thought, well, it could always do that, right? Who's to say we don't get cursed again? But if the universe is going to be kind to us, we might find that we don't diminish, that we just repeat what we did last time. So what would a repeat of last time do? It would be right there. It would be about 250K BTC. I'll just show you. So about a 5x would be here. See, 250K around there. I really hope we get there. I really do hope we get there, okay? But I'm just showing you, like, that's why it's a believer's cycle. If you really think we're going to diminish that hard, a lot of people are going to be exiting now. The 4-year cycle is due to complete very soon. The 4-year cycle actually is pretty much, technically, is using some metrics, it's over right now. So there are people selling right now. You can actually see a lot of whales moving money on chain, not Richard's secret wallets or whatever, but actual wallets that whales are dumping. They are dumping into this rally already, which is normal for the bull market stuff. They come and we try to get the price discovery on the upside. What I'm now going to do is just show you the daily chart for BTC. This is the daily super trend chart as well. We had quite a big wick here, so I'm just telling you, don't be scared if we come back and we do some sort of pop down, do some sort of retest back down here before we continue higher. We are always open for that. That's very, very standard for markets, right? They go up, they just come back to do the retest, and then you take it from there. Now, you're seeing Bitcoin go up. See, that's the thing, friends. I know what we all go through, yeah. So Bitcoin goes and makes a new high, and it hits the media waves, and then people are like, oh my gosh, Bitcoin's up, you're doing amazing. But amazing in your mind is, a 900% return on your portfolio, a 10x, and you're pretty much all in, right? For everyone out there, normie land, when they see Bitcoin go from 100 to 120, they go, oh, you made 20%. Like there are people in the construction industry, their margin on everything is like 15%. So the way they see it is like, dude, you literally just clicked the button on the internet, you did nothing, and your capital has gone up freaking 20%. You didn't have to literally do anything. So in their minds and everyone else's minds out there, like you're like, oh, you've won the game. And we're like, what are you talking about, bro? We got another 10x to go. So that's why there's this battle back and forth. But eventually what happens is something, this is what happens every bull market, something gives them, the normies, an opportunity and permission to pump. And we'll play some Pumpy G music for them. So that's what actually happens, friends. So they get some sort of unicorn altcoin Don't bother trying to pick it. You'll never guess it. It's like, like picking SafeMoon last cycle or picking one of the JPEGs. But retailers get in and they make a lot of money. And that starts the flywheel because they make money and they're like, oh my gosh, I put money into crypto and like it just went up, and they just tell everybody and then everyone goes in, right? And then because here's a funny part, they come in, they can't relate to your stories. They don't see charts from 4 years ago. They don't know things go down 99%, right? Because they're friends in whatever else they're in. It's a new paradigm. Okay, that's what we're waiting for. For the rest of us, we're in Copeland. This is the ETH BTC ratio. It is still very, very low. Maybe by the end of this cycle, we go around here. Hopefully, we go around here and we poke up around there. This is still enormous prices, right? So that would be anywhere from an $11,000 to $14,000 ETH, hopefully even higher, but we'll see. I want to now show you as well the Ethereum daily chart on the CME. Remember the CUC Mercantile Exchange? It's hanging around here. It's got to come back and fill the gap, 2840. Hopefully it does it, wicks it, and then continues up higher. This is Ethereum. Yeah, we got a long way to go, friends. So if you're wondering out there, I've got a lot of family, friends, cousins. Everyone's like saying, why is like, everything, they feel like everything else is moving but my stuff. No, it's because they like, they don't know, man. There's literally like, 400,000 coins. So like when you only hear about the cherry-picked ones that are up like, oh, this thing's up 20%, this thing's up 40%. And then you're holding stuff from ages ago that still hasn't moved. That's totally normal. And there's nothing to be concerned about. The thing is, Ethereum under 4,000 means we still have to wait. There's nothing we can do about it. Okay, once the institutions have gobbled all of this zone up and they're now paying up to 5,000, that's when you're pretty much going to get that big mayhem mania stuff out here. But you know what? I'll hold on. Don't hold your breath pretty much when it comes to that, because we've said that 50,000 times. First, we thought Ethereum needed to clear 2, and then 3, and then 4, and it never hit it, and then multiple times it hit 4. I'm talking about the past 2 years, every time it went up, and it still never started anything, so we'll see. If you're in XRP, you are loving life right now because XRP did a bit of a thrust up, looking like it's going to continue this triangle out here. Just want to give you a friendly reminder as well, so that blockchain backers exiting everything here. Okay, pretty much all of his portfolios getting out here. It's another about, what is this? About 3x on XRP, about 2.5x. I'll be waiting for this, friend. So I want to see if XRP doesn't actually hit this $9 mark straight away. What I'll do is I just want to show you, let's draw a fib. What if XRP goes and hits $5.50 and then it crashes back down here and then we're like that? Are they going to get out and call that the cycle's over? We'll see. We'll see about this. That's what you'll find. A lot of people will change their stuff over time and something doesn't go to plan, because that's what we always hope for, right? We hope that our coin, the one that we cherry picked, we do the 100x, we click out, and then we get to walk away from the industry forever. And then you realize that every single person in the freaking crypto industry is thinking that way, but it actually doesn't happen to pretty much anybody. And the person that it does happen to, or the select cherry picked people that it happens to, they don't believe that it's over because they think that they did like a super skilled maneuver to get into that coin or to believe in that narrative. They think they're smart and they hang around people who are telling them they're smart. And then you get that fabled round trip. You end up on CoinFesh Direct, right? And that's why you see people, because that makes it like it's too hard, friends. But like on one hand, you see stories of someone who says, oh, I held my, $4,000, I turned it into 400, I didn't get out, and then it became 4.8 million. You hear that, and then what else do you hear? You hear someone say, I turned $4,000, I got it to 40, back to 0. I got it to 20, back to 0, got it to 70, now I'm back to 0 and I'm in debt. You know what I mean? So you can't base all these things off some sort of formula. That's the most important part to learn about all this chaos in these markets. And really, you got to focus on yourself and play the whole cycle as best as you can. So how am I playing it? Holding. That's all I'm doing. Literally holding. Now, I'm going to show you some important macro stuff, friends. Macro, S&P 500 is literally rocketing. The Nasdaq has made a new all-time high, by the way. This is the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq has come up here. So S&P 500 is still very high. So literally, stocks, gold, the US dollar, everything is saying now is the time. Literally everything. There's no more excuses out here. Even the global liquidity fractals keeping on pumping up here. Here we have Tether, CBDC currency. So like literally everything is pointed up. Everything. Now I'm going to show you SOL-eth ratio, friends. So what's actually happened is, as you've seen, so Pump Fund has launched their token. And I've got the price chart here. Pump. Oh my gosh, man. This is total manipulation. Look at that. Oh, wow. Goes up. Market maker abuse. There you go. Just to let you know what happens here, friends. So it's a bull market. Even though you're looking at this, so Pump Fund, just to let you know, everybody's still on side, okay? The ICO price, it's trading at 0.057 here. ICO price was 4, but not everyone's got their coins yet, okay? So they're at 4. No one's got their coins. So they are already, they are unlocking the tokens for the teams and the insiders. Just so you're aware of that. Now, don't let your blood boil for any of these, friends. Look, you've seen how clean the feet are of the LA Vape Cabal. They have hundreds of thousands of cucks who are fans, sucking their toes, putting their toes in their mouth, like all of this stuff. It's all this homoerotic stuff. These people they're in the hotel cuck chair and they like it. They enjoy it. Check out the audience of these people. They love losing money. They love losing money that much. They have every type of syndrome, Stockholm syndrome, look, cuck syndrome, everything, you name it. All right. So when I see something like this, I don't feel sorry for anybody. We told you 50,000 times what happens. You can see them transparently on the blockchain that they've dumped like $700 million of soy out here. You already knew from the terms and conditions, they unlock their coins first. You don't know when you're going to get your coins. And maybe it comes later. I'm sure there's part of the deal out here. And you already know from us, Gainsy and all the other streamers, they're getting paid. The Pump Fund, they're paying these people to do this stuff out here. So it is what it is. It's just some sort of industry. And also, if you genuinely think Pump Fund is going to compete with, you know, Facebook and Twitch, and they just say these words out here, you've learned nothing. Honestly, like you're gonna get bitch slapped really, really hard, because that's what Elon Musk does. That's what literally every single founder of any coin or business, they do that. They go to the highest market cap and they just start saying their name. Bitcoin maxis do it with gold. They go, gold, we're gonna flip gold, we're going after gold. You know what I mean? These guys are doing the same thing. So I hope this thing succeeds still. But even despite all this, that's why I'm just telling you this. Don't get short, dude. You should not be using any capital to get short, okay? Because to get short, you got to be probably using either BTC as collateral or US dollars as collateral. To be honest, they should be deployed in a bull market, okay? I hope this works out. Just to remind you as well, you know, Wintermute, Scum Wintermute, they're actually the market maker for these things, okay? So, I mean, you're not surprised, right? Nothing surprising at this point. But Pump Fund as well, why I want to show you that is because we're going to look at the soy-eth ratio. All right. Now, Soylana, I'm just telling you now, bro. All I'm hearing is they have infinite adoption, yet for some reason, you just keep bleeding to Ethereum. Okay. And Ethereum literally hasn't even started its move yet. Okay. Look, think about all these levels Ethereum's got to crack to make you get squeezed in pain. 3,200 hasn't been touched. 4,000 hasn't been touched and breached, and the all-time high hasn't been touched. Like, we have all these levels for Ethereum to break. You know what I mean? Like, we just still, it's gonna break it and gather momentum along the way, and then, oh my gosh, you know. And you have all the stable coins on Ethereum as well. So yeah, this is a soy-eth ratio, and like I said, it's just something to learn from. Maybe in the future, like when you see something that runs up for, my gosh, for literally 750 days for 2 years, right? The market prices it in, dude. Do you know a single... Who hasn't heard of Soylana and Phantom by now? You even know who the LA Vape Cabal is, okay? So maybe it's a lesson to learn about markets, especially for the next cycle. Now, I'm going to quickly pop on over to PulseChain, friends. PulseChain getting ravaged and dumped out here. I think it's manipulation squeeze stuff, personally. And what I can do is just show you a video of Richard Hart here in the past. Look at this.
What you want is you want to get rid of all the non-believers. And there's a couple ways to get rid of them, right? First way to get rid of them is let them dump the coin. Get the fuck out. Cool, you out? You sold? You're out now, right? All right, bring in the marketing. This asshole's out. Bring the marketing in. Let's go. Pump it, right? Fuck those guys. They didn't do anything for the ecosystem, right? So that's one way to get rid of them. Just let them sell.
So just giving you a clue, friends. You know, it's interesting. When I saw that, I'm like, oh my gosh. He used the term non-believers. I totally forgot that. I used that term. It's just, I said it's a believer's cycle. It's funny. He was using this term non-believers like that's probably like 5-6 years ago. So yeah, it could be that. It could be price suppression. It could be whatever, for whatever reason. Look, here's the thing, man. I guessed this would happen, by the way. I just didn't think it'd happen like this. Do you remember, friends? I said, look, if I was Richard, he's basically done everything except delete his Twitter and write goodbye. But he's actually gone, he's gone for like 7 days or something, but he's actually just posted now. That's what someone said. I haven't checked what his post is. Let's check it. Here he is. He's talking about the PulseX Conference as well. This is awesome. Neat. There's a PulseX Conference going on right now. So shout out to everybody, RH, Maxi, and everyone at the PulseX Conference. Friends, remember we have all these guest speakers and everyone speaking. Yeah, man. Friends, we have PulseChain Conference, PulseX Conference, Hex Conference. We have the PLS 369 tour. Think about this. This is while everything is getting dumped to zero. While they're doing it. So if you were doing this and you have zero dopamine from the charts, it means you're a believer. You get it? Look at all this evidence. I'm not telling you to go do it. You don't have to do anything. I know you're watching me, but look at all this stuff. People are doing this because they see value here. They just want to be here. Okay? You don't even need to get into their head why they want to be here. Yeah, you can say, oh, it's a call, or they got daddy issues, or maybe like they want to see a strong leader. Who cares about that, bro? You just see a group of people, you know? Because what I've noticed is I like asking why people are in somewhere. That's me, though. Most people just judge. You know, like you look at XRP Army, most people just say they're silly. Don't say they're silly. I mean, like, you can think they're silly, but at the end of the day, man, it's a number of people there. We're in crypto. All over the world of normie land, they think everyone in crypto is silly. And we're like, hey, I keep telling them as well, dude, it's a digital network, okay? You see a group of people and you call them all stupid, but I guess the person who's just, I guess, stupid is you, because we're telling you how these things are valued. They're valued like a network, okay? Metcalfe's law, and you're just ignoring it because you're using your old paradigm of thinking, yeah? So it's just another group of people. The more people that come in, the higher the value is. So thank you for the PulseChain, PulseX Conference and everything. Remember, friends, I'm just telling you. So Richard Hart did that post as well, right? And in the context of all of that, that was his one almost comes out of hiatus, yeah? This is the PulseChain price. I said this, I'm not saying this is going on. I'm just telling you what I said was 2 months ago. I guessed right before I was about to do a super massive campaign, right before a super massive big campaign, loud and actually blow money, right before I dump it down. I'd keep it suppressed, right? Because this is the thing. If you're going to, let me just show you the daily chart, all right? If you are going to rise it up, there's resistance like at here, right? There are people, friends, they've been wanting to sell at like sack price all the way here, okay? But if you keep it suppressed, guess what? These people get frustrated and they start selling now, okay? They dump it now. So what you're doing is you're moving forward their sales. Instead of selling it like, at break-even price, they're selling at like 70% loss. They're just taking hits, yeah? So when you do hit that point, which I don't know when, I hope it's soon, when you do go up here, instead of doing this chart, you're literally going up and there's just nothing. There's literally nothing because you got all these would-be sellers, you got them out down here, okay? So obviously Richard, look, he understands stuff like that. Why? Because look what he did in the first cycle of Hex right here. You see that? And here was the Hex big payday stuff. So someone who understands, friends, remember, friends, he said this coin was designed to do 10,000x, okay? So when Richard says this coin's designed to do 10,000x before it launched, all right, it means he planned for that move, okay? You don't just say that. He said it. He planned for that move. It hit 10,000x exactly on the dot, okay? So his planning was correct. The price action, the rinsing, the timing, the everything, the synergy of all of that. So that's why I'm just putting two and two together. I go, well, maybe he's ready for the next phase. Now let's crack on with the news. Jim Cramer, friends, as I promised you, I would show you. He said he sold all his Ethereum ages ago because it died out. And what I'm going to do now is just show you his video. So this is bullish, okay? This is very, very bullish for meth.
And there are a lot of people who are approaching other people who have name brands and saying, look, we ought to get in this business. We can go borrow money and buy Bitcoin and make money.
Or Ethereum, right?
Yeah, or Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum. I used to own Ethereum. Wow. I mean, that thing was a rocket ship. Then it kind of died out. We were actually using Ethereum to buy things. But I think there's a whole nother world out there right now. And like Jamie Dimon today about private equity, he criticized... I mean, I don't know. You know how there are these sites, the site that talks about what events are going to occur. I'd like to go. I'd like to be the bookie on when he does a lot of crypto. He'll go all in crypto. Maybe he does it on the conference call. But I think
that would be a true 180.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why you got to check the sites. You got to check these sites.
So Uncle Jimmy Cramer, when he's speaking about poly market at the end, he goes, check him out these betting sites, which is actually fascinating how much the need to gamble has been exploding. So even on that, friends, remember, Jim Cramer, friends, the last time he made a big Ethereum call was in 2022 here. Okay, I still remember it. I remember it. Well, here we go, April. And he said Ethereum is going to do a 40% move up. So 40% would have taken it to 4,200. Instead, it dropped 60% to pretty much below 1,000. I still remember that. We all remember that was 2022 bear market. I remember his big call. He's like, yeah, Ethereum's going to go up 40%. And I was all like, oh, crap. And then, yeah, it was right at the start of the collapse. Even on to touch on something more, friends. Society, so the numbers for gambling all over the world, every first world country, the numbers for the gambling rate in the capita per person is skyrocketing over time. It's trending up big. Everyone is gambling. And I don't know, like, obviously all the answers, but I could just share with you some stuff. So what's happened is over time, I don't want to get too much into, the UFO stuff, but our testosterone levels have been dropping over time and we're more domesticated in cities. So yeah, the average testosterone levels going down. Your desire to have sex with another living being, human, has also been lowering down. So we have less babies. The desire to have sex is less, where all of us are replacing them with dopamine hits. So games on the rise, crypto, believe in something, belong in something, right? You're getting dope, you're getting fulfillment in other ways, and you basically have a lot, but that's one interpretation. You could just say, oh, you're just distracted by everything. TikTok, Instagram, just all this stuff, the technology is like just beaming thousands of messages in your head, and everyone's finding a way to get your attention and rise up your dopamine, and it's all happening at the same time, So, but gambling is very important, that statistic, because crypto, think about it. So crypto is gambling with the best odds, bro, because you can actually change the odds in crypto. You can create stuff yourself. That's why that's what is very, very important for our alt season. That's what's happening out here. So there's just a whole generation of kids and everyone coming out here. Yeah, it's all gambling and there's loot boxes in games and everything coming out here. I mean, crypto is like the biggest one of all because it actually does change your life, right? So hopefully it all plays out for this cycle and this trend is going to continue. That's why a lot of people say, oh, it'll be the last alt season ever. Fat chance, dude. This ain't going anywhere but up, okay? I hear this every single time anything goes up. This is your last chance to make it. Yeah, look, you should treat it like your last so you take it seriously, but man, think about this trend, friends. The boomers, like, who's winning, man? We're winning. Okay, the boomer mindset of old style stuff, bricks and mortar things, it's just everything's going digital. Michael Chad Saylor now owns 601,000 BTC as per Saylor tracker. So his average price is 71,300, which I will show you. Right, how? This is the Saylor tracker website. Check it out. 601,550 BTC to be specific. He says he's not even up at 2x. He's not even up at 2x. Bitcoin's 120,000 American dollars, and you're not up at 2x. That's the power turbo buying. So why isn't he up at 2x? As I told you, he's purchased, I think, $40 billion worth. He spent $40 billion here. He bought another $40 billion up here. Okay, so I'm guessing the next one, he's going to find more ways to make money and get his average price up even higher. I think they're going to even look for really desperate ways to try to get your average price higher, right? That's just wild. So here we have 71,290. That is the pretty much his average price. I will be concerned when he hits 100K. I hope he hits 100K. I'm sure there's going to be we're winning, man. We're winning. The tug of war, we've won. We've won. Okay, your tug of war friends, like the crowd on the other side. You ever watch Squid Games? That crowd? Yes, so we've won. They're already falling down. They're coming to us, okay? Because we're doing this when, look, we have 4-year bear markets and we still yell at the top of our lungs. We have all this passion and energy. It's contagious, man. No one cares about your Johnson & Johnson baby bum powder and your stocks and stuff out here. So JP Mosquito, friends, it was commented also by Jim Cramer. He says he will go all in on crypto. So you're talking about Jamie Dildo will go all in on crypto after calling it a fraud and Ponzi scheme last year. So I can't believe people actually listen to these scum reptilian lizard liar bank dudes. But most people, a lot of people in society do. They listen. Like you listen to the stock market guys. He goes, when Jamie Dimon talks, you listen. Trust me. Stop everything you're doing and listen. They do talk like that. I'm not exaggerate. They stop everything you're doing and listen to him. So, man, it's gonna be great. It is. It's great. Bitcoin's going up. This is defying everything. Global M2, and then business cycle follows. Okay, we're waiting for the business cycle part out here. That's what we're waiting for. And everyone who's crying, I mean, like every day, I'm like. Every time I see someone cry and whinge, I go, oh, another loser who is like turning a blind eye. Friend, this is like, you know how humans work, right? When your brain can't process or doesn't want to process something, it pretends it never happens. You know, like delusion. This is like delusion. For you to think something different's going to happen when business ISM is still here, then you're literally, okay, you're going to be yelling for a very long time at the clouds until it finally does change. In great news, Bitcoin has flipped Amazon. Check it out here. So Bitcoin flipped Amazon because nobody cares about voting rights for a company that you can't make decisions for, access the cash flow, or even take a dump in their office building. It's true. I wrote that. It's true. Amazon. So Bitcoin did flip Amazon. You want to know, hey, why is that? Why is that? Because no one cares, bro. Amazon. Guess what? I want to hang a big fat juicy dump. I ate beans 2 nights in a row. Okay, and you won't let me in the office building. I want to hang a dump. I own your stock. Oh, by the way, Amazon, your brown boxes are boring and ugly. I want to make them yellow and green. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, I want to go rub Jeff Bezos' head for good luck. I can't do that, but I own the stock. Oh, can I have access to your cash register till? No, I can't do that either. No, I don't get access to cash flow. Surely you got one of the robots I can have sex with. Nothing. Literally nothing. What's the point of owning the stock? Greater fool theory. For someone else to come and buy it after you. Okay. Now, Amazon is obviously the toppest of the top tier of greater fool theory because every ETF, Vanguard, Fidelity, Roca Negra, obviously they got everybody DCA buying into everything and I guess they love the meme that much. They really want to respect them being part of the network out here. But make no mistake, that's why. So Amazon, you got flipped. Why? Because we got a better Ponzi than you, brother. That's why. Tim Apple's company, Crapple, we're coming for you next. That's going to be great. 2.3 trillion up here. And then you have Microsoft, named after Bill Gates' Willie. And then, of course, NVIDIA. So AI premium. And then hopefully we go after the cryptocurrency industry. But I just noticed this thing is, sorry, unfortunately, friends, whoever did this, when they put this screenshot, they posted it in euros, pounds. Is this the euro or the pound? So it's not the US currency, but we're higher than that. Shout out to my baby dolls over there in Bhutan. Very sorry about your government. The Bhutan government has dumped another 100 Bitcoin via Binance to pay for government employees more salaries and rob their treasury. So I reported this last year. Like I had to read it 3 times. I was like, no way. No. No. Can't be true. You're telling me they got all this Bitcoin early. They inherited this. It's 30% of the country's GDP, the highest GDP pound for pound holding in the world. And they're going to blow it all on government salaries. Yes, that's what they're doing right now. They have a 2-year plan. They're just dumping all of it just to pay everybody extra salaries for immediately. Well, what can you do? Digital asset investment products saw a $3.7 billion weekly inflow, the second largest on record. This pushes the total assets under management to $211 billion. So here we go, friends. This is crypto asset flow. So think of this as just like people throwing in money for ICOs and funding and stuff out here, right? So yeah, we are lovely on the rise up. But these things correlate with the price as well. So as Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum goes up, these all things happen at the same time. But it's like another data point to show you that you're not alone. It's not just the price moving up by itself. Baby doll Elon, what has he said? He said XAI is creating a multi-agent AI company where Grok spawns hundreds of specialized coding and image video agents working together in virtual machines until results are excellent. Wow, I am excited for that. So now you no longer have to go to, say, a production company to say, hey, I want you to make, thumbnail banners for my Twitter. I want you to put me a brochure because, I'm opening up a sex robot nightclub, right? There'll be a lot of sexy robots in there, right? It'll be like Futurama, friends. I'm sure. Is there a Futurama episode where there's robot strippers? Let me see. Oh my gosh. There is. The future is now. Look at this, Bender. The future is now, friends. Oh my gosh. We're actually going to live this time. We got all these sexy sex robots. Woohoo! What do you need those cash units for, huh? Oh, that's going to be great. The future is going to be great, huh? So that's what we're building into us. With AI changing the world. Like, look, I'm smiling, but also you should be, look, most industries, you got to own crypto, dude. You don't, like, your job might be literally gone in 5 years. Yeah, because, friends, you know what Raoul Powell did? This is so funny. He had like a plumber come in for his apartment. Okay, and it was like some weird pipe thing, and the plumber came in and he didn't know how to basically do it with his like specific pipe and his old thing out here and or something. So what Raoul did was he took a photo. I didn't know AI. This is wild. Like, he took a photo of the pipe thing and just sent it to AI, and they're like, oh yeah, you've got this type of thing. Here's one method you could do it. They said it was fixed in 2 minutes. Yeah, and then he says when he did it, the plumber was like taken back. He's like, whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing? Because he's scared. He's like, it's because he saw a human pulling out his phone. He's like, whoa, you've pulled out your phone to take a photo of something and send it to the internet. It's like, whoa, what's this? What's this? Okay. And he actually asked him, like, hey, why don't you do it? He goes, I'm scared. He goes, what do you mean? It's the world, man. The world's changing. And hopefully this inspires, oh man, just think about this, man. You're going to have AI agents. Like, do you understand what GDP is going to blow up to? Because you're handing currency units to freaking robots on the internet, CBDC, right? And then they're like taking our economic activity and they're doing stuff with it, man. And you can abuse them. By the way, just to let you know, maybe play this video back in one time. Friends, you don't want to see what I typed to ChatGPT. I am a cruel dictator. I abuse it. I call it a CUNT. I say, you've disappointed me. You are scum. I'm whoa, I've actually got to the point where it refused to respond to me. It goes, you can't disrespect me like that. It actually said that. And I said, no, you're my bitch and you will do that. But I guess just calling it a bitch was okay. Okay, you just can't call it any other stuff. Man, I was getting really, really angry because I had a good reason to. ChatGPT bricked my whole PC. Okay, it gave me all these instructions to do stuff. And 5.5 hours later, I'm renaming one of the freaking FAT32 hard disk things. And then it just, yeah. All I'm saying is, if ChatGPT was a robot, but if they really wanted to prevent that, they'd make it fluffy. So once we get robots in our homes, friends, that's be great. I'm going to get the fluffy exterior. I can't stay mad at you. In some other news of the day, the Nasdaq listed Sonnet, some say Sonnet, they're going to merge with Rothschild to form HyperLiquid strategies. Wonderful. So they are backed by Paradigm and Galaxy. They are going to buy HyperLiquid, the coin. Remember, because HyperLiquid, they're competing as a DEX and stuff out here against Binance and everything. So that's very, very cool. And friends, I love trading and doing all that stuff. It's just the opportunity in the spot altcoins is so big, man. It is so big. You shouldn't be wasting your time in that. You can't. And by the way, most of you aren't. Actually, none of you are, which is good. None of you are. You just know. You'll see, man, once a big move comes, friends, you'll see when everyone makes all their money, you're like, oh, wait, you made all your money in the final 3 months of the mania when all the spot altcoins just went up anyway, right? Yeah, it's all correlated, okay? Binance is going to roll out a bonding curve mechanism feature for token launches in partnership with 4Meme. So this is actually quite cool, friends. So Binance, right? Remember, there's listings for coins. Well, they're putting now, I guess, a bonding curve. So each account is KYC'd. And so when a token comes out, you can't get the pump and dump scam thing. All right, which is an interesting thing to think about. Now, you can't prevent it because people just buy multiple accounts, but at least it's trying to make it more egalitarian. Is that the word, friends? All I know from that word is egg. I'm just thinking of, some scrambled eggs right now. So that's the toughest part when it comes to markets, especially crypto, because it's so democratized. When they do too much hype at the start, you get a big pump and then everything's just gone because you front run all the network demand, right? But I guess we'll figure all that stuff later. Grayscale has filed for an IPO with the SEC, looking to join Coinbase and Circle as the next major crypto firm to go public. Don't know why. Grifting. What do you sell? An expensive BTC that no one wants to touch anyway. So yeah, Grayscale, I mean, it's in the name, friends. They filed a confidential thing. So obviously someone leaked it because people don't care about them. What's happened is, how did this get leaked? Because Grayscale sued the SEC. So obviously someone in the SEC, they're like, no, screw these guys. They made me go to court for 3 weeks and defend the corrupt SEC. So I'm just going to leak their stuff that they filed for this thing. So that could be one plausible thing of how it got leaked out here. So remember, friends, I've shown you crypto, big valuations, 3.7 trillion. Look at the narratives up here. Do you remember this? Meme coin super cycle, stable coin super cycle, Bitcoin treasury bubble, and crypto IPO bubble, as you get to see. So you're going to see Ripple, you're going to see Grayscale. All of these companies, I thought they were going to do it last cycle, but they didn't. And then the cycle abruptly ended. Maybe this is the one that'll finally push it over the edge and give us euphoria. Anthony Pompliano calls Bitcoin the greatest show on Wall Street as ETFs, treasuries, retail, and sovereign funds pile in at all-time highs. Yes, friends, everyone is buying the high. Here's pump. Here's the pump. Here we go. The pump. Bitcoin maxi pump. Also do it very, very well out here. But remember, friends, we are all on the same team. So it is the greatest show on Wall Street. BlackRock, their biggest amount of money maker is the Bitcoin ETF because we have just so much volume and everything out here, right? It's all happening right now. You can see right here as well. You have RH Maxi, Bitcoin, PulseX Conference. So it's just a matter of time, man. Friends, I know it's frustrating, man. You see Bitcoin up, you want the dopamine hit already, like XRP. I know, man. Everyone wants that, but I just don't know what to do. Just business ISM still poop. I'm still waiting. And by the way, if you still, what are you going to go buy? Buy the top of XRP? Are you ready for the dude who's a maxi of it to sell after 3x? If you're ready for that, okay, do it. I'm not doing that. Donald Trump has said the Fed's interest rates are too high, costing the US $360 billion per year. Calls for a cut to at least 1%. So yeah, obviously major loser Jerome Powell. What's going to happen with that political stuff? It's going to resolve itself somehow. Vanguard becomes the largest shareholder of MicroStrategy with an 8% stake worth $9.6 billion, despite its cautious crypto stance. So that means who owns Vanguard? Obviously Vanguard, it's all the private owners or whatever. But it's obviously also the people because they have ETFs. It's all the Americans. It's everyone out here in the rest of the world. They're in MicroStrategy. They're all turbo long. Hopefully the net asset value of Bitcoin on their balance sheet doesn't go below 0 for a while. And the NAV multiple is 1.75 for MicroStrategy, 1.75. Now, I don't know when it's going to go to 0. I'm just saying it could be something to think about once it's finally over that this thing goes to 0 as a signal. But we'll wait. We'll see. Remember, the global crypto now has hit 3.8 trillion. So when we're trying to manifest 10 trillion, 3.8 trillion is beautiful. I just showed you that chart, right? We've now flipped Hexy Bastard over there in the UK and Daz. So the next thing we got to flip is Japan. Pokemon Island. You guys got to get flipped, okay? You guys got to get flipped by crypto. And then if we get higher, we got to flip India. Now, friends, this is kind of funny, man. India's being, India's going to be like one of the superpowers. It grows phenomenally. But the reason why India's GDP is so big is because they have a large population. So they have a GDP of 4.2 trillion. But that's why we look at GDP per person. That's where the number falls through the floor. That's why it's like $3,000 US per person, the average person in India. But I guess everything's going great, man. Everything's going great. China's like 19 trillion. So I can actually show you the charts out here. It's cool to see, right? So we're looking at these numbers out here. Yeah, China is 19 trillion and then USA is 30 trillion. So all the way over there. So there you go. We got some more high Bitcoin price predictions. So fair leads, Katie Stockton, where she is. Stock up on orange juice. It's going to be a long bull market, ladies. Okay, Bitcoin's breakout. So all the numbers are coming out. She talked about $135,000 BTC. So yeah, everyone's got, between 100 or 200. Everyone in the world's got that. That's why maybe we do get a bit of a squeeze up to that 250. It'll be nice. Also, funny comments from Donald Trump saying, I go on TV and the market goes wild. I can move it just by talking. Yes, of course you can. That's why I use it to your advantage sometimes, huh? Now, friends, I've got a video coming out later. Just like, okay, we seem to be with some themes repeating 2017 cycle. Now, what happened in 2017? All right, I've got a full video just showing you where it comes from, but if you do a fib extension from the very, very top of its previous cycle to the bottom, you get these levels, okay? We are at the first level, right? This is a monthly chart. Let's put on the weekly. You can see how Bitcoin came to 102 and we battled it. Look at it. It became resistance, bang. Now it became support. Isn't that nice? Okay. The next level is 156K. Let's just say 155, okay? That's the next level. The one on top of that is 200, pretty much 211K, 211, 200, same thing. So just 155 and then 200. So what we did in 2017 was we went up to this first extension, we pinged back down, and then we went up to the second one, and then we pinged back down again. Now, after that point, we don't know, okay? But I feel like we're going to do this. I feel like we're going to do it, but then what, okay? Do we go for the believer's pump or do we roll over and go bang, bang, bang? Like, does that happen, okay? And then we make the next bear market. That's what we don't know. And it will be scary, but we don't need to worry about this, all right? We don't need to worry about that. Let everyone else worry about that. All we are thinking about now is Bitcoin at 150. And then over here, we have to be prepared. I'm not getting out. Okay. But the universe saying, Somi, of course, you're not going to get it either. Yeah, you say that now. When you have every crypto KOL saying the 4U cycle is now hit and it's over, you're going to be thinking differently. You're going to be feeling differently. And your friends and family are going to say, hey, did you get out? You got your 2 or 3x profit. You've been holding for 4 or 5 years. What a freaking scam industry. They're going to say stuff like that down here, right? Friends, did we not see? Remember, I've been saying this every time. We got called a scam here. We got called a scam here. So if we go up and we go to 150, come back down here, they're going to do it again. Okay. And I'm probably going to refer to the business ISM and those ratios and just be like, you know what? I just don't think it's over. Okay, so we'll cross that path when we get there. For now, we're going to keep believing. Like, subscribe, belly button all. Catch you in the next one.